from the mighty Midwest, and got an article here from Liberty Headlines. ICE arrests 500 illegals in sanctuary jurisdictions. So let's take a look at the article. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers arrested 498 people. Kind of a drop in the bucket, but hey, start from 42 countries. Wow, a lot of different countries. Wonder if any of those are from the Middle East. During a 4-day operation that targeted illegal immigrants who were living in so-called sanctuary cities and counties. Well, I'm pretty sure they were probably called sanctuary cities. Authorities said they did not target or arrest illegal immigrants enrolled in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals or DACA program. Okay, no problem. Acting ICE Director Tom Homan blasted policies adopted by hundreds of counties and cities that impede the efforts of federal authorities to apprehend illegal immigrants who have committed other crimes. He goes on to say, sanctuary jurisdictions that do not honor detainers or allow us access to jails and prisons are shielding criminal aliens from immigration enforcement and creating a magnet for illegal immigration. Well, sounds true to me. He also goes on to say, as a result, ICE is forced to dedicate more resources to conduct at-large arrests in these communities. ICE arrested 107 people in Philadelphia alone. That was the biggest city of the arrests, which is kind of interesting because I would have thought that Chicago or LA would have had more. Another 101 in Los Angeles. Other arrests took place in Denver, Massachusetts, New York, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, Baltimore, California's Santa Clara, and Washington, D.C. ICE officials said 317 of those arrested had criminal convictions and also nabbed 18 gang members. Well, good for them. And 104 illegal immigrants who had previously been deported. The most common conviction of those arrested was for drunk driving, or driving under the influence of alcohol. You don't say. I was actually at a Mexican baptism, kind of a Catholic baptism, where they baptize the kids before they know what they're doing. And of course, they had to bring out the alcohol. And what was disturbing about that was they had it at a Christian church who allowed them to rent the a room in the church. And the church obviously had no idea because they had like a punch drink that they put in igloo, coolers. So I was kind of upset about that, and I've got a meeting with the pastor to talk to them about that, see why they're doing that, letting them do stuff under their nose like that. But crimes also included aggravated assault, burglary, rape, weapons violation, and sexual assault. It's pretty shocking, the sheer number of criminal aliens with serious convictions, serious criminal histories that were released back into the communities, even though ICE told them they wanted to take them back into the community. And that comes from Vaughn, the Director of Immigration Studies. I'd agree that. I live in a sanctuary city. It's a smaller town. However, we've had cars T-boned, bodies in canals, murders over ID theft rings, fake ID rings, that kind of stuff, in a small town. So we'll go down here. Here's some of the other arrests. It's called Operation Safe City. A woman from El Salvador who entered the United States illegally on a fraudulent passport and previously was charged with attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and convicted of first-degree assault. Yeah, I think I want her in the country. Not. And local officials released her before in Baltimore. Okay. A Guatemalan man who previously was convicted. Now, I'll go back to that. What if I had done all that? I would not be released. A Guatemalan man who previously was convicted of felony menacing. I'm not sure what that is. Child abuse. That's not good. Assault. And 6 DUIs. Well, hope he doesn't run over my kids because they'll be hell to pay. I'll take care of that. ICE arrested him in Denver. A Mexican man and member of the Colonia Chiques gang. Never heard of that gang, but they don't sound good. Officials said he rammed several law enforcement vehicles in an attempt to avoid arrest in Los Angeles. He had a loaded handgun in his pocket, according to ICE. No, a gang member with a loaded handgun? A citizen of Ecuador who was a lawful permanent resident and had been convicted of sexual abuse of a child younger than 14. New York authorities released him rather than turn him over to ICE. Kind of stupid in New York then, aren't they? A Mexican citizen who entered the United States on a visa and remained for 10 years after it was expired was convicted of felony possession and purchase of drug and felony child cruelty with the possibility of injury or death. Officials in San Jose previously released from the local custody before ICE could take him into custody. Those sound like some real winners that we really want here in the country, doesn't it? I'm going to read here. Sanctuary policies cannot stop immigration enforcement, she said. What they do is produce just the kind of enforcement that the opponents say is bad. I should be commended for refusing to back down. That's this Vaughn from Immigration Studies.